Hi.
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 uh,
I'm cold.
yeah, I know you're cold. It's a little cold here. This is not an Arkham Asylum studio video. You are indeed watching this on my Blue Goblin X channel. This is
Blue Goblin X.
with special guest, my lady love.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was giving you a theme song. Leave me alone.
Watch it, there might be copyright there.
Uh-uh.
But we're here to talk about Survivor Series 2016. It is officially closed. It's in the books. Oh
my god!
This was an interesting show. Now, before we get started, I want to let everybody know I will be doing an NXT TakeOver Toronto review later. Just gotta find the time to do it. But since we both have the time to do this, we're going to talk about Survivor Series. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really catch too much of the pre-show. There were plenty of times my mind was occupied elsewhere. It's like I had we both had our DSs with us, and I was playing some Pokemon Diamond
and chatting and
talking with our friends, and having a few drinks. Non-alcoholic.
No, wait, no, I didn't. No one had any drinks. We just, shooting the snoo. I ain't cussing on this channel.
Yeah.
I ain't cussing no way anyway.
Yeah. But as far as I know, there was like a six-man tag cruiserweight match. I don't care. Kane and Luke Harper, I understand Kane won. I caught the end of it, and I was just like, eh. Then the actual show started. It's hard to believe Kane was part of the main event of Survivor Series last year, and now he's on the pre-show.
Now he's on the squash match.
Yeah. Now the official Survivor Series show started with the women's 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series elimination match. Now, this is one thing I loved about this year's Survivor Series. They emphasized the traditional Survivor Series matches.
Yeah.
This is the best they've hyped these types of matches in the past few years, in my opinion. But I'm gonna be honest. Now that I've had time for it to sink in, this match could have been better than what it was.
That match was poop.
Yeah, the man.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was so many nonsensical moments in there. It's like, okay, you had Nikki Bella removed from the match to be replaced by Natalya,
but they don't explain how she got injured, who did the injuring. They didn't show any of that.
There was no story follow-up on it. They just it's like, oh, she got hurt. Natalya, you go out there. It's like, okay, you could have easily, we saw how all the Raw girls in the ring were kind of like smirking. It was like maybe they had something to do with it, or maybe Carmella attacked her because there's still story there, or you could say maybe Natalya was wanting to be in this match so bad she took out the captain. I mean, you could literally go anywhere with it, and they went nowhere with it. That was
right.
That was pitiful. That was pitiful writing. That was pitiful booking. To me, the biggest insult in this match was how they eliminated Nia Jax.
Man, they could have left her in until, like, the last two, at least the last 2 or 3.
Oh.
But no.
I mean, you're trying to rebuild her as a monster character after you've had her beaten twice on NXT. You're trying to reestablish her, reintroduce her to a crowd that probably doesn't know who she is, and you've done all these squash matches, and you've done all these showcasing. You had her almost pretty much squash Bayley on an episode of Raw, and you have her come in here and she taps out. Becky Lynch gets the wink and gets the nod for being the first person to beat her on the main roster, but in that kind of fashion, it just seemed kind of like, eh.
It was one of those matches where I watched it, but yet I was too busy talking and playing with the dog.
Yeah, and
so,
it did nothing to keep our attention. This match was just really sloppy. There was plenty of botching. It's like there was so many wrong decisions made. But what this whole match pretty much served a purpose of getting a Charlotte versus Bayley storyline over, and I don't know. It is what it is. Seeing Charlotte act like the bitchy heel that she is, to attack Bayley like that was fine. At least the conclusion of this match served a purpose. Charlotte being jealous, she didn't get the pinfall. She wasn't the conquering queen, the hero, anything like that. And she basically just destroyed Bayley, and this serves a purpose. At least there was a story going out of this match, but the match itself was kind of bleh. Then we get to the Intercontinental Championship match. My guy, The Miz, taking on skinny Seth Rogen, Sami Zayn.
Or as one of the people that was there watching it with us, he said he looked like the one character from Rudolph, the red-headed guy. And he does look like it would be his kid because of the red hair and the facial hair and all that stuff.
Yeah, I get it. But I also do get the Seth Rogen comparisons, but man, what even though I hate the guy, what a way to just completely just shit all over Dolph Ziggler. I mean, you had him drop the belt days before this pay-per-view, and they don't even hardly mention him or nothing at all. And it's like him and Rusev were nowhere to be seen on this entire show.
Oh, they were resting.
Yeah, it's like, well, I can understand. I heard the thing about Rusev visiting, going to a relative's funeral. That's understandable. But I'm glad The Miz won, not just because The Miz is my guy, but The Miz needed to win that match because SmackDown needs to keep that title. Raw's got enough belts. Raw has enough belts in there. They're stingy with the Cruiserweight title. I mean, you really want to get the Cruiserweight division over, you have the Cruiserweights on both brands. But Raw doesn't need any more titles. In fact, it's like SmackDown, they needed to keep that IC title, and I like Sami Zayn. Don't get me wrong. I like Sami Zayn, but he did not need to win this match. I'm glad The Miz won, and I loved how The Miz won. It was kind of old school heel kind of wins. That's the kind of win I would see some people like, Honky Tonk Man, stuff like that. Classic heels from the past would win in that fashion. They would have a manager. Like, I could see Honky Tonk Man winning an IC title match in that way, with Jimmy Hart doing the same kind of shtick, fake out the ref and ring the bell, or Jimmy Hart running around, bam the DDT, bam the DDT. But
I was leaning on that.
Oh, sorry. But a great match. Well, I wouldn't say the match itself was great. The finish was great, but
it was still a good match.
A good match, not a great match, but it was a good match with a great finish.
Right.
Then we get to the tag team.
Oh my god! That was like a circus.
Yeah, that was a circus, but it kept my attention. In fact, I think this was the match of the night. I didn't expect this match to be the match of the night, to be honest, because this was the match I was the least hyped for, to be perfectly honest.
Because of the hype bros?
The hype bros.
Oh my god, the one thing that made me laugh was when they're calling themselves the Fashion Police now.
Brazongo.
Yeah. And it's like, when they came out, I was like, oh, what in gay hell? I was like, oh my god, really, people, really?
And they got eliminated first, which I was like, man, they lasted longer than the Shining Stars. I mean, the Shining Stars lasted longer than they did, which that's an insult. But the biggest shocker of this match was the tag team champions, the New Day, getting eliminated like that.
I know.
That was a shocker. Kofi.
Like, what the foop?
Kofi ate a super kick and got pinned really early, and I was like, whoa. Now, that was the most shocking moment of the match. I was expecting New Day to last up until the very end. I thought it was going to come down to the New Day and the
champions. No, I was thinking it would come down to champions versus champions.
Yeah, we were thinking it was going to come down to New Day and the Beauty and the Man Beast team, but it didn't go that way. It ended up all kinds of crazy eliminations were going on. Gallows and Anderson, they looked pretty good in the match. They looked pretty good.
No one looked really bad in the match. The reason why I called it a circus was because there was a lot going on. They weren't the different free-for-alls. Every match like that, the women's match, and then this match, it was like, okay, free-for-all. Everybody's in the ring. Go for it.
Yeah, one of my favorite spots was the whole Nesty plunge kind of plancha spot that Heath Slater did off the top rope. It's like he got off the top rope and then he like turned around and did like a backward flop. It's like it reminded me. It's like, oh, Nesty plunge. It's, older people will get that reference. Yeah. Then the finals was Sheamus and Cesaro versus the Usos, or as you like to call Sheamus and Cesaro now, basically Team Hell No 2.0.
Yeah.
They have the same chemistry that Daniel Bryan and Cade once had when they first got together as Team Hell No.
I've been like expecting to hear, I'm the tag team champions. I'm like,
well, they got to win the belts first.
My God.
It's like, where is Dr. Shelby when we need him? I mean, for God's sake, you put Sheamus and Cesaro in some Dr. Shelby segments to help stretch out the 3 hours of Raw. I'm all for that.
Because they have that chemistry. Team Hell No Juniors.
Yeah, exactly. But the finish, I mean, there were so many super kicks. There's like 6 super kicks from the Usos.
6.5.
Oh, yeah, and the finish, one of them was about to get a super kick in, and Sheamus hit that bro kick, and an Uso taps out, and Sheamus and Cesaro end up going over for Team Raw. Thought that was an excellent finish. This was, for me, the match of the night. It was a crazy spot fest, but it was entertaining. It kept my attention. I was glued the whole way through, and I was ready to see where they were going to go with it after they eliminated the New Day so quickly, because that's a team that they have been pounding and pounding down our throats, and I'm sick of the New Day. I'm burnt out on the New Day gimmick. But to see a team that's been so forcibly pounded up our ass and down our throats at the same time, to get eliminated so quickly, that was fascinatingly shocking. And then, let's see, the next match was, I believe, the Cruiserweight Championship. The Brian Kendrick taking on Kalisto.
Of all people.
Yeah, this match was kind of boring. This was
another one of those matches where I just sat there and...
Yeah, I was torn. Which one was it? This match or the women's match that ended up being the worst match of the night? It's a tough call, but what I will say is the video package that they played before this match was brilliant. I loved it. That was awesome. I loved how the footage would get a little choppy every once in a while, and Brian Kendrick was, talking about being the face of the Cruiserweight division. He goes, I am the Cruiserweight. Yeah, the whole... Yeah. I loved that video pack. Whoever put that together, you need to put that guy on more projects. That was good.
Yeah.
That was good. And then we got to the match, and it was like... and then the finish was just ridiculous. You had Baron Corbin run in. He hits Brian Kendrick first, which gets Brian Kendrick the win by disqualification, but then he attacks Kalisto. I can understand him attacking Kalisto because they got a rivalry going, but here's my thing. If Baron Corbin was well enough to run in and ruin the ending of this match, then how come he wasn't able to compete in the men's Survivor Series match like he was originally scheduled to before he got replaced by Shane McMahon? If he was all right enough to show up... Because
it wasn't part of the story.
It wasn't part of the script, and it's the boss's kid, so the boss's kid is going to get his way. But I did like that backstage thing between him and Daniel Bryan. You know, it's like, you just cost...
But Daniel Bryan had every right to get on to him like that.
True, if you're looking at it from a kayfabe perspective, yeah, you're absolutely right. But I loved Corbin's response. He was like, you know, Bryan's like, you cost us the Cruiserweight division. He went, so? I just thought that was that was the best response he could have given.
So, like, he didn't care.
He didn't care, and I was like, that's what he should have said. And then the men's Survivor Series tag team match. This was a good match. Definitely not the match of the night.
It was still, like a lot of the other matches, still a little sloppy.
Yeah, I think everybody just went, everybody in the crowd and everybody watching at our friend's house, we just went nuts when we saw the little miniature Shield reunion when they triple powerbombed AJ Styles to that table.
That was awesome.
That was awesome. I'll tell you who else had some awesomeness in here when he should have had more, and that's Braun Strowman. Oh man.
Yeah.
At first, what were you gonna say?
That one section when he was like face to face with Bray Wyatt. I was like, oh my God, really? He's going to actually listen to Bray Wyatt after everything he did to him? And it's like, no.
I loved it. I thought that was great.
That was like, he's like, and then he grabbed both of them and it was like, Undertaker?
It kind of had that Undertaker like double choke slam hold thing going.
Yeah.
I did like that, and then Braun Strowman, I think there was a risk he almost might have killed AJ Styles when he threw him over the top rope. Oh God, that was a scary bump. I was like, oh God, if AJ ain't hurt after that, I'll be damn surprised.
No.
Wow.
Shane got hurt.
Shane, oh my God, Shane.
God, that spear.
That spear, the timing was off on that spear. Oh my God, Shane McMahon, God bless you. You do a lot for the business. You put your body at risk when you don't necessarily have to.
Yeah.
Oh God, Shane, man, if I hope you're all right, man. That spear spot off the Van Terminator, that scared me. I was like, oh God. We looked at his face.
His eyes were just like
glazed. Yeah, he wasn't home. Oh my God, that actually made me cringe because Roman. We knew what they were going for, and Roman's. This one's on him. I gotta be honest. The timing was off. It was off.
Majorly off.
And that almost ruined the match for me. It's like, oh, these men are almost literally killing themselves. AJ Styles took a scary bump from Braun Strowman, but then how about Braun Strowman getting eliminated the way he did with James Ellsworth? What did you think about that?
Look, at the beginning of the match, I called that he would get involved and get himself hurt, or, you know, something would happen to that little chicken face guy, you know?
No Chin City. But, yeah, Braun Strowman getting eliminated the way he did at first. Initially, I was upset at it because I was thinking he should have been in the match longer, or he maybe should have been one of the last guys from Raw. But the way they protected him by eliminating the way he did, because, you know, it keeps him protected because he has yet to be beaten, and you got a good showcase, you got a good spot out of him with James Ellsworth. Threw him right into that table. Ooh, it's like he didn't just like slam him on the table. He like grabbed him and just picked him up and just slung him into that table.
And one person made one of the best jokes. I didn't order any chicken with my pizza. Because there was freaking pizza on the table. I mean, there was pizza and drinks on the table like it was some of the crew members, like, dinner that night.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's with the pizza on the table? You'd think they would get the crew members to clean up after themselves.
What?
When they were done. But someone was like, I didn't order any chicken with my pizza.
That was a good line.
Oh
that was a good line. Wise man say, forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza. That was a good spot. I was expecting Triple H to show up and screw Seth Rollins over and continue that story.
But it would have made no sense.
You're right.
At that moment because that would have been screwing over. He's basically NXT, so it wouldn't have made no sense.
Yeah, Triple H getting involved in this, when it's like, now, if he were to have gotten involved and screwed over Seth Rollins, it wouldn't have made any sense because he's screwing over his wife's brand,
exactly.
and that wouldn't have made any sense. Now he screwed over Seth Rollins and gave Kevin Owens the Universal title. That wasn't a bad move for Raw, but if he were to have cost Raw the match, he would have had, kayfabe-wise bad blood with his wife, and he's not going to do that, so him not interfering, for all you people out there who complained about him not showing up, I think it was the right move to make to have him not show up.
Right.
I was expecting it, but I'm glad it didn't happen. Now the finish.
Yeah, that finish was like, what the foop?
Now, I'm glad Team SmackDown won the match because I didn't want Raw to have a clean sweep. I didn't want Raw to win all 3 matches. SmackDown needed to win this match.
Yeah.
But man, I'm really glad that Bray Wyatt was the one that got the pinfall, got the winning pin.
Yeah, because he needed it.
He needed it so bad. Any wins that Bray Wyatt can get, he should have them. I mean, because the WWE's gone out of their way to just completely destroy this character. And still don't know where they're going with this whole Randy Orton and the Wyatt family thing, but
wherever they want to.
But the right team won. SmackDown needed to win after losing two other matches.
Yep.
Okay, now I want you to do something for me.
Beat you up?
Blink. Goldberg just won.
What? Wait, what?
If you blink, Goldberg wins. That's how I felt. Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar. 12 years in the making is how that's one of the ways they put it. Fantasy warfare made reality. And it's like, my friends and I were thinking, it's like, how's this fantasy warfare when they've already faced each other before? But
yeah, there was even a sign that said 2-0.
Goldberg 2-0.
I wonder if the other side said Goldberg 1-1.
I guess they would have been prepared. Wow. This right here was amazing. I will say this. Having Goldberg win, that alone, just having Goldberg win, that alone was surprising. Because I think everybody was expecting Brock Lesnar to win. Everybody was expecting Brock Lesnar to just suplex, F5, F5, 1, 2, 3, and then leave. That's what everybody was expecting because everybody for the longest time was saying wrestling is so predictable. Wrestling has got no it's got no sizzle anymore. Well, yeah, it is a predictable sport, but when they can pull something like that and give us something completely unpredictable, it means something. And this is one of the most...
Oh my God, everybody there. We were so loud that I was afraid the neighbors were going to complain.
Yeah, we should have had a camera on us because we had one of those crazy YouTube-esque reactions to Goldberg.
I mean, throughout the whole night, we should have had some kind of video going all night because of all the good zingers and... everything. It would have been just so much fun.
But it's just a spear, jackhammer, win.
What?
That was it. It's like a minute and a half, if that long. I mean...
It was roughly almost 3 minutes. Because you got to think, they stood there and faced each other, and then Brock pushed him, and then he pushed back, and Brock was like, what?
Yeah, and he started getting that cocky smile, like, okay. It's like, gets right up, boom, spear. Yeah. Then he gets back into the corner and does another spear, and he puts him in the jackhammer, 1, 2, 3, and that's it. Match is over. It's like, if you want to talk about Suplex City, I think Goldberg burnt Suplex City to the ground that night. Oh my God.
That was amazing, though.
That was amazing because it was something unpredictable. We didn't see it coming, and it's going to be a moment that's going to be remembered for years to come. Anybody who says that this was a BS booking decision, it was the worst thing they could have done, that's your opinion, and you can have it. But for me, this was brilliant because with this one match. The bell rang, there was a pinfall, and then a closing bell. It's a match. With this match, you pretty much countered everyone's argument. Oh, wrestling's too predictable. You think this is predictable? Boom. Nobody, I guarantee you, nobody predicted this main event. You know, it's like, I would have...
Because we were all betting on how many suplexes, and I was like, 10.
I was thinking...
Everybody was making fun of me because I said 10 suplexes.
Because that's what everybody predicted. Everybody was going to say,
6, 7, 5, and I was like 10.
I think I guessed like 6 German suplexes. But man, this will be a Survivor Series main event that I'm going to remember for a long, long time. Probably the most unpredictable Survivor Series main event since 1997 for my bet. I mean, nobody could ever have predicted the Montreal Screwjob in '97, and I don't think anybody predicted this finish. But I think Suplex City is burnt and is now a ghost town. It's just now, where do you go from here?
Exactly, that's the big question.
But to me, this was the Goldberg of 1998. This was the Goldberg that I watched on Nitro, because he had matches like this a lot.
Yep.
This was amazing. I was kind of bummed that it was a very, 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 very short match, but I was...
But it was still good, quick match.
It was still a good, quick match, and it was an unpredictable, shocking moment that will be remembered for years to come. You know, say what you want to. This was a moment. It was they made history. They squashed the man who broke the streak. They squashed the man who annihilated the Golden Boy, John Cena. You know, they basically beat the unbeatable Brock Lesnar just like that.
I mean, I don't like Brock Lesnar because you can tell he's got that attitude that I don't care what happens in this ring. I'm going to do what I want. You're not going to tell me what I'm going to lose. I'm going to do what I want.
Yeah, it's...
And to see him lose...
That gave us a little personal satisfaction because of his blatant disrespect for the wrestling business. But that's just us. So, overall, I thought this was a good show. I would give it a grade scale. You know, A through F. I would say probably I'd give it a B. Maybe.
I was about to say a B to a C.
Yeah. The main event will definitely be remembered for years to come.
Yeah.
But the women's match was crap. The Cruiserweight Championship match nearly put me to sleep. The IC title match could have been a lot better than it was, but it had a great finish. And sometimes a great finish can help a match, but if it didn't have that kind of a finish, the match would have stunk up the joint.
Right.
There was just too much nonsensical crap to...
And too many false finishes. Too many 2 counts. I'm sick of the 2 counts. It's 3 counts or nothing.
It's like she's exactly right. There were plenty of moments where it's like you see something happen, it's like, oh, that's got to be the end. That's got to be the finish. No, we got to keep on going. It's the curse of Ring of Honor, where every match has got to have like 27 false finishes before you finally get a finish that's underwhelming.
It's stupid.
It is stupid. It's one of the things I hate about the wrestling business of today is this, this overabundance of false finishes in a lot of wrestling matches. And it's like, not every match has to be wrestled like it's the freaking main event, you know?
And it's like, I think in the men's match alone, there was at least 10 false finishes that I can think of. Yeah. I think there was a false finish, one for every guy in the ring.
Yeah, I would think so. But there's our review of Survivor Series 2016. And we hope you enjoyed it. We hope you enjoyed this this Survivor Series. Definitely going to be memorable. Maybe for good and bad reasons, but it's all based on opinions.
Yep.
You know, if you loved it, then you loved it. If you hated it, then you hated it. It is what it is.
Yep.
So thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see y'all later.